In 2022, Giants pitcher Carlos Rodon was having a career year. That season, in 31 starts and 178 innings, he pitched to a 2.88 ERA as one of the top starters in the game. His 33.4% strikeout rate was among the best in the game as well. By most pitching metrics, he was phenomenal. When the Giants trotted him out there every 5 days, they knew that they were going to get a really good chance at winning whatever game. Rodon didn't allow a lot of runs and struck out a ton of batters, while also not allowing very many base runners. Simply put, he was just one of the best pitchers in baseball for the 2022 season. The Yankees saw this, and having had some rotation troubles in 2022 themselves, signed him to a contract over 6 years and worth $162 million, $27 million annually, to a guy who had proved himself as a very dependable arm 2 years in a row. At the time, this seemed like a very good deal for the Yankees, who, despite winning 99 games in 2022, definitely had some issues to address. After all, Rodon had only recently turned 30, and pitchers usually age better than position players do. This really did seem like a foolproof contract, as Rodon had very good peripheral stats in addition to his basic stats with the Giants. There really wasn't that much room for error in this contract. Carlos Rodon's Yankees career got off to an awful start when in his first spring training game he allowed 5 runs in just 2 innings, including 2 home runs. Shortly after, he went on the injured list with a forearm strain in his pitching arm. This kind of injury often leads to Tommy John surgery in some pitchers. However, in Rodon's case, he luckily did not need the surgery, but did miss over half the season. He made his first official Yankees start on July 7th versus the Cubs. In that game, he went 5 1/3 innings with 2 strikeouts, while also surrendering 2 earned runs. Pretty good considering that it was his first start since spring training. His next 2 starts against the Rockies and Angels did not go as well. He first gave up 4 runs in Colorado and then 6 against the Angels. After that, he had a good start against the Mets, but followed that up with 2 bad starts versus the Rays and then the Astros at home, in which he allowed 9 total runs in 6 2/3 innings. Rodon had a few good starts after that, but notably never had a start where he went scoreless. For a guy making well over $25 million a year, that's definitely not what you want. His 2023 season was going terribly before his start in Kansas City, but versus one of the worst offenses in MLB that year, Rodon allowed 8 runs without recording a single out, which I'm fairly certain has to be a record. His first year in pinstripes went about as bad as it possibly could have. He pitched to a dreadful 6.85 ERA in 14 starts, and after posting a 33% strikeout rate in 2022, he posted a 22% strikeout rate in 2023. He walked more batters and allowed an average exit velocity of 91.6 miles per hour, which is terrible. He was getting hit hard, wasn't striking out enough batters, and walked way too many guys. This really came out of nowhere when you look at the rest of his career. Both Rodon and the Yankees had a catastrophic season, to say the absolute least. Coming into this year, the Yankees and Rodon had aspirations for a better season, and at first, things were going great. Basically as good as could be asked for. Rodon was pitching very well, and definitely like a guy who gets paid $27 million a year. He had successfully navigated very potent offenses such as the Astros and the Twins multiple times. Through a start on June 10th versus the Royals, he pitched to an excellent 2.93 ERA. He was walking less batters and had slightly fixed his hard contact problem. Even though Rodon had seemingly pitched well on the surface, the underlying stats said that he was due for some massive regression, and unfortunately, that is exactly what's been happening to him these last few weeks. While he was better than last year in terms of allowing hard contact, he was still below average. The problem started on June 15th in Fenway Park. Rodon was already a flyball pitcher, and now that he was getting hit hard, this led to a lot of extra base hits. The Red Sox tagged him for 5 runs in 5 innings. Rodon had a few bad starts earlier in the season, so for the moment this wasn't such a big deal. Every pitcher has off days at some point in the season. What was a big deal, however, was when his struggles carried into next week's start against the Braves in Yankee Stadium. Rodon could only pitch 3 2/3 innings before being pulled. He allowed 3 home runs, and the Yankees lost 8-1 to make it 5 losses in their last 6 games. In Toronto on June 27th, Rodon was destroyed yet again. The Blue Jays had 10 hits off him, including 2 3-run home runs from George Springer, of all people. On July 3rd against the Reds, he only allowed 3 hits, which looks great on paper, but 2 of those hits turned out to be home runs. They proved to be the difference as the Yankees lost 3-2 to continue their stretch of really bad baseball. Rodon's most recent start didn't inspire much confidence either, as he once again got shelled, this time in Tampa Bay. He allowed 4 runs in 4 innings, while the Rays averaged an exit velocity of 94.1 miles per hour on their batted balls. Carlos Rodon has had a very rough go of things lately this season. In his last 5 starts, he has pitched to a terrible 10.57 ERA, while allowing 8 home runs and 36 total hits. What was once a good season for him has turned into nothing short of a nightmare that lately has actually been worse than his 2023 season. With 4 more years left on his contract, Carlos Rodon has plenty of time to figure it out, and he's definitely proved he can do it before. All that he really has to do is just stay healthy and pitch like he has before. Definitely like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and thanks for watching.